So now is what are you gonna do? You heard what I had to say? And most of all, let's keep it real. I'm only repeating what you've already said to yourself. That's why you're here. That's why you tune in every week. Yeah, I'm only repeating what you already said to yourself. I'm not saying anything new. I might be saying it in a different way. I might be saying it in a different tone. I might be saying it with some force differently. But for the most part, your spiritual self has been knocking you over the head, telling you, hey, what you doing? Hey, 3 o'clock in the morning, get up, write that thing, that inspirational thought you had. Write it down or go act on it. And what do? You look at that clock, turn over, I'll get it later and go to sleep. Akeem, how you know? How you know? You in my bedroom? You can see us? You spying on us? No, I ain't got to spy on you. I ain't got to know. I know how we are. I know what we really are, and we all operate the same way. We come from the same designer. We come from the same designer who designed us to be spiritual and powerful and divine. And the way we get our inspiration is when everybody's calmed down and all the negative energy is subsided. That's when, in the wee hours of the night, is when God can really speak to you and get you in that corner and start to talk to you. That's what happens. How you know I can't? Because it happens to me all the time. And a lot of times I listen, and then sometimes I don't. And I always regret when I don't. So many people see success in other people's and they want that success, but they don't want to break old habits. You'll never have success that way. If you're going to stay the same person, that true happiness, true contentment comes from within, not out. Everything outside of you is like a benefit or an add-on to your own happiness. You are in charge of happiness over yourself. You in charge of your belief systems. You are 100% responsible for what you believe in and what you hold as true. And then because of that, all the results you get from that is all on you. The labels you choose, the I am that you pick and choose for yourself is what you are experiencing right now in this material world. Peace. What's up? What's up? Let me make sure my sound is correct here before I go into what I'm talking about. All right, looks like it's working well. Let me do some echo. All right, it's Sunday, September the 28th, the last Sunday of the month. And it's October already. I like these months are just whizzing by. Like they it's crazy how fast it goes by. This is why it's important for you to stay focused on your mission. Whatever your mission is, stay focused. Don't get lazy, don't procrastinate. And one of the things I started to incorporate is there's a lot of changes I want to make. And I know that changes don't happen overnight. And if you decide to make a change, you can't throw a lot of stuff on yourself all at once, or you will crash and burn. So I just incorporate little things every week. You incorporate something different. Like so far, I think I mentioned just last week, I've been reading the Bible. I went back to reading the Bible every day. Not particularly, I go to and I'm like I read all through the book of First and Second Samuel. And the reason the topic signs and divination is that's the topic of what I'm talking about today, because a lot of people look for signs. Uh they look for signs. This is distracting me. They look for signs to give them answers, whether it be through tarot cards, astrology, and all those things are fine because if you go to the Bible, it happens. They were doing it all throughout the Bible. They called them seers, right? I'll prove it right here in First Samuel chapter 9, verse 5. When they came to the land of Zuph, Saul said to the boy who was with him, "Let us turn back, or my father will stop worrying about the donkeys and worry about us." So Saul was sent on a mission to find this donkey just before he was king, and for his father's house. And they wandered away off, took some time. And then but he said to him, this is the boy talking back. So there's a man of God in this town. He is a man held in honor. Whatever he says always come true. Let us go there now. Perhaps he would tell us about the journey of which we have set out. Then Saul replied to the boy, but if we go, what can we bring the man? For the bread in our sacks is gone, and there is no present to bring to the man of God. What have we? So they went to seek out a man who tells, or what do you call, prophesies, and everything he says comes true. So he was a very, very reliable source for information on determining the outcome of the future. And what I'm saying is these things are great to have as an addition, because they didn't go see the seer first. They were looking for something and then say, okay, it's not working for me. Then let me go check it with this person that's reliable. He's known to say things and they came true. So that means there are people who were calling themselves seers and they were not able to bring about what they're saying, or what they said didn't come true. And this was a wide practice. So let me keep reading. And the other thing I mentioned, he said, well, we don't have anything to give this man. So not only did they go and get to go see him, they were bringing him gifts. They thought about bringing a gift. And let me stop right there. How many of you right now are getting help from people? Have you given that person a gift? Have you given them something for the help that they're giving you? What I find that's a big problem with our people in the what they define as Black, African American, people of color, and I'm talking from all across the board. You know, you could be from the island somewhere. You're very bad at giving gifts. Terrible gift givers for the large majority. And the reason why I say this, because when I've been doing this for 10 years, and there's always someone in my email asking me for help. I mean, I get emails, oh, it's an emergency, can you help me? But as soon as I start saying go to akimel.com and click the consultation tab, pay that fee, and I'll squeeze you in today, I don't hear from them. But it's an emergency. But it's not an emergency to help to pay me for my time. And if you're a person who's helping people genuinely from the heart and you're helping people, don't feel bad about charging for your time, because these same people that got an emergency will pay for things that they really want. They don't go to the light company, to the landlord. They don't go to the grocery store asking them to give them free groceries. They come to you because they feel you have an answer for them. And then they have this feeling of entitlement that you're supposed to give them an answer because you look like them, or because they're having a hard time or whatever. And I give gifts to people all the time. I give my time. People pay for consultation. It's 30 minutes and it lasts more than an hour all the time. But I use my spiritual discernment on who I'm giving that gift to. There's a lot of people out there just trying to get over it. You give them help and you'll never hear from them again. But let me say this. You'll hear from them again when they got another emergency. Complain about pricing. Listen, my price is not designed for everyone. It's designed for the people that really respect my work and don't mind paying me for my time. I do not feel guilty about charging for anything. And compared to what other people charge, I'm very reasonable. I have a home to maintain. I have a daughter in the other room that's in school that needs things. I have my needs need met, and God, guess who takes care of my needs? God, He takes care of all of my needs through the work that I do. He's commissioned me to do this work to help you navigate your own consciousness, because that's all I'm teaching here. To get you to rely on your own spirituality, not mine, yours. That God talks to you just as much as he talks to me. But the problem, some people are not listening. They want a physical person to tell them. This is what happened in Samuel's. The people of Israel had God taking him, got him out of Egypt. They were following the the fire by night, the cloud by day, gave them food while it was out there. Then they came to Samuel and said, "Hey, we want a king. We want some king we could see." And then God said to Samuel, do they realize what they're asking for? They want a physical man to be their king. You're gonna have problems with this with kings. Hey, I've been taking care of you. What more do you need? No, it was never enough for them. Out of all of the miracles and things that God had done for them, it was never enough. More, more, more. Give us this, give us that. But back to the giving of gifts, it was a custom. If we're gonna go get information from this man, we need to bring something to him. Check yourself. When the last time you wanted to get help and you thought about giving somebody something for their help, for helping you before you went there, or you just ran it? Give me help. I need help. No, nothing in your pocket. Nothing. Not even a look. They didn't always give money. They gave bread, food. They exchanged things. They bartered things. It doesn't always have to be money. I bartered many things from people. I bartered services through my services, but it was always a mutual agreement. So it said here, the boy answered Saul again, "Here I have with me a quarter shekel of silver. I will give it to the man of God to tell us our way." Formerly in Israel, anyone who went to inquire of God would say, "Come, let us go to the seer." For the one who is now called a prophet was formerly called a seer. See, they called them seers. They didn't call them prophets. Prophet was a new word. This is actually, I'm reading this right out of the Bible. Saul said to the boy, "Good, come, let us go." So they went down to the town where the man of God was. And as they went up the hill to the town, they met some girls coming out to draw water and said to them, "Is the seer here?" They answered, "Yes, there he is just ahead of you. Hurry, he has come just now to the town because the people have a sacrifice at the shrine." So they was doing sacrifices to God to keep God's blessing going. They were doing sacrifices. They were doing all kinds of things. And in our traditions today, we are living in what you call, I define as an entitlement society. We want something, but we don't want to give anything in return for it. And there's groups of people that follow this tradition and they are prospering. There's a podcast I listen to regularly. It's called Rabbi Abe. And that's all he talks about in his podcast, about the gift of giving and how you get more out of giving than you do by not giving. Because it's just how the world works, right? You give the ground a seed, it sprouts up a tree that has fruit, and it gives back more. One seed in the ground produces a tree that continuously, as long as that tree is healthy, gives off fruit for you to eat off of. And all you had to do was give one seed to that ground, and that's what you're rewarded. So for every gift you get back tenfold and sometimes more. But if a closed fist never can get anything in return, I know I'm a little off topic of what the seer and the divination, what I really want to talk about. But I think this is important for your prosperity, that you learn how to be someone who want to give gifts from the heart. It works. Okay, I know from my own experience. The answer, yes, there he is just ahead. Hurry, he has come just now to the town because the people have sacrificed today at the shrine. As soon as you enter the town, you will find him before he goes up to the shrine to eat. But the people will not eat until he comes. See, they won't even eat until this man of God comes and blesses everything, since he must bless the sacrifice. Are we doing that? I know I haven't been doing that. Afterward, those eat who are invited. Now go up, for you will meet him immediately. So they went up to the town. As they were entering the town, they saw Samuel coming out toward them on the way up to the shrine, and it was Samuel. And eventually, if you keep reading, this is how Saul became king, because the people asked for a king. And Saul was the first king. And if you know the story, Saul was great until he wasn't great. And then he ended up dying, and David took his place because he lost favor with God. He became jealous of David, who came in and helped him and defeat the giant. This is so on and so forth. But let's get to what I was the main topic. What I notice in my years of coaching people and talking to people who do believe in tarot cards, believe in astrology, believe in all types of things that can give them a prediction on how to receive the most favorable outcome in their life. There's a few that really rely on this as if their life depends on it. Like they won't make any decisions without doing that first. And if you read the Bible enough, you notice that people did do those things. They did, let's go see the seer, bring him a gift and he'll tell us, or she will tell us. But they always put the work in first before they went and did that. They always look for God to talk to them first before they went and did that. The going to the seer was the extra step. It was never the first step. Even when Saul became king, God spoke to him. Once he was anointed, God came to him directly. And what happened was when he lost favor with God, God stopped talking to him. So then he had to go back to Samuel and any other seer to get information because he wasn't hearing from God anymore because he had done some transgression. And the transgression was when he went up to war against, I think it was the Philistines. They were not allowed to take any spoils from the town. They were supposed to destroy everything. Now, when I say everything, I mean man, woman, child, all of the gold, silver, anything of value was supposed to be destroyed. They were not supposed to bring anything up from there. And what he did was he allowed his men to take spoils, and that caused God to be disappointed. And he didn't follow his directions. And then from then on out, that set the pace for David to become king. Now we can, oh God, he murdered. We're not getting into all of that. The point of what I'm saying is Saul, as a king, knew he was anointed and he can get his communication from God without the aid of Samuel or any other prophet or seer. And if you read your account, many times he got filled with the Holy Spirit and was moved to do things. And the whole point of what I'm saying today is if you're here in this life today, if you are here listening to what I'm saying today, and if someone listens to this, and this is for anyone that comes across this broadcast later, today, tomorrow, whenever, I'm telling you, you're anointed, just like Saul and all the other people of the Bible. The difference between you and those who hear from God is that you may not know that you can do that you have the power. You may, because why don't you know? I'll tell you why. Because in this system, this current system, how it runs, it is designed to teach you to rely on getting your information from somewhere else outside of you. It is designed for you to look to people in leadership, people in power in the church, power in government to help you. This is why they created a voting system for presidencies. Oh, you can't fix your own problems. They can make laws and help you fix your problems. And pay attention, it never works. It never works. I mean, we've been voting for people for years, and in our community, we got the worst problems ever. For generations, our people been going to these churches, and we still got problems. So obviously, the church ain't the answer. And you'll hear somebody, well, it ain't about the church. The church is cheating, right? It's what the people do with the information that the church is giving them. No, it's the church is the problem. Religion is the problem. Because the information given is not teaching you that you are the true source of your divinity, that you are the true source of your everything that's good and bad that's happening to you today. You're the source. That means you're God. If you allow God's voice to work through you, the power of God to work through you, and you see yourself as divinity, sinning is not stealing. Sinning is not fornication. Sinning is not adultery. Sinning is not all of these things. Those things I just mentioned are just symptoms of the bigger sin, or not even the bigger, the sin. Those are symptoms. It's just like if I have a heart attack, right? What is that? That is a symptom of me not taking care of myself and eating correctly, exercising. So what's the problem? What is the problem? The problem is you not seeing yourself as a true divine manifestation of God. It's that simple. And being bold enough to say that I am God. Because if you come from God, like if just on the level of me having children, if I have children, they're just like me, right? It made in my image and likeness, right? If I help procreate, bring children into this world, they come into my image and likeness, male and female. She and he made thee. So again, I'm not saying not to don't do tarot cards, don't do astrology or things like that. Although the church today forbids it, says it's demonism. But then I'm looking in here, they did it all the time. And all of a sudden, in this day and age, we don't do it. But yet we got a book that shows all of the favorable people of God did these things. All the favorable did these things. But now today, because Christ died for our sins, we don't need all that. No, that's nonsense. They taught you that so that you don't work with personally with the power of God. They wanted impersonal, meaning go see this pastor. He'll tell you the right way to go. You see? And just to add to it, I just happened to stumble on, my give me a second here. My Reverend Ike, my one of my favorite mentors, he talks somewhat about this. And it's in chapter 21. Don't let the stars get in your eyes. This is the day which the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalms 118:24. A science of living principle. Let nothing outside of you control your destiny. Through the presence of God within, you and only you can make your good desires come true. And at the end of this, I'm gonna give you guys an exercise to work on. I mentioned it in a seminar or the webinar last night, but I'm gonna give it to you guys today. I think it's very effective tool to put you on the right path of your prosperity. The age-old custom of wishing on a star has become glamorized and computerized into big business today. But for all this sophistication, the results obtained from consulting and wishing on a star are pretty much the same. Worthless. I agree. To agree, it is worthless if you don't really know where your true power is from. Because I've done it, I don't see that happening because my consciousness wasn't in the right place to really understand what it was or what to do with it. What you expect is what you get. It is interesting to me how many intelligent people will not start their day without first reading their horoscope, or as I like to call them, horoscopes. Horoscopes claim to predict the future. They presume to chart bad or unlucky days, periods of unfavorable business or personal relationships, and warnings against travel and spending money. They are certainly full of negative predictions. One common horoscope prediction, which seems to recur often, tells people to avoid making decisions today. How can you possibly get dressed, go to work, or even decide what you want for lunch if you pay attention to something telling you to avoid decisions? Then once in a great while, the perfect day, it is suggested for you to transact all your business, enhance your love life, and make the world a better place in which to live. Suddenly, the negative conditions are supposed to change, and when that doesn't happen, even your so-called good days end up in frustration. Results obtained from consulting astrology and wishing on a star are pretty much the same. Worthless. Horoscopes, which claim to predict positive and then negative experiences, confuse the mind, which in turn confuses the life experience. Suppose the horoscope say today will be a bad day for you. You won't feel very well. But when you woke up in the morning, you were feeling fine, looking forward to working and seeing your friends. Now you read the horoscope, which tells you that you have a bad day. First thing you know, your head begins to ache and your knees feel weak. That horoscope programmed you for those aches and pains, and now you're experiencing them. Thoughts are the food of the mind. Now, when I read the Bible and the things that they were asking for, they were just asking for simple directions, how to find this and what was going to happen to the kingdom and things like that. These generalized horoscopes that you will read on the internet or at one time when I was growing up, we had a newspaper that had the horoscopes. They're generalized. And even the ones on YouTube, they'll say, this is the generalized reading. If it resonates with you, then receive it. That's what they'll say. That's their disclaimer. And I'm telling you, I did all of that, but nothing worked more better than me going within and trusting that God voice inside of me. When I relied it on that, that's when success started to show up. But when I place my importance on, I don't know what to do. This person's gonna have the answer through their cards or whatever. Most times I left there more confused than when I first walked in. I'm saying if you're gonna use all of that, it should be in a confirmation of what you've already got through the voice of God. A confirmation. The importance of your thoughts. Your experience is determined by the ideas in your mind. Keep your heart in a mind with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. When reading horoscopes, people are programming their minds to project what they have read into their experience. I agree. Now, we talk about the mind science all the time. Your thoughts are projecting everything, producing and manifesting everything you're experiencing at this moment. It was a thought that got you to listen to me today. Like, yeah, Akeem's on. Let me go listen to him. It was a thought that motivated you. That just imagine if you never read that horoscope this morning that said that you were going to have a bad day. How do you think your day would have gone? So what has more power? What is the predictive thing that creates the future? It's not the horoscope. It's the thought of the horoscope. It's the idea that this horoscope said this was going to happen. That is was the driving factor in producing and predicting the outcome. So if you have a horoscope that says you're going to be wealthy, of course you're going to believe that. And you're going to work towards that outcome. And then you'll say, well, my horoscope said it was. No, your belief in the horoscope is what gave you the riches. Never put the cart before the horse. It's the power of what God gave you inside of you, that the belief and desire and knowing that you will be a wealthy person and living like you are wealthy in your mind first, having that consciousness, and from that consciousness, you draw everything wealthy towards you. I don't remember Christ or Yeshua reading fortunes. He predicted people's future just by being connected with them to see how they behave. I can tell you, like a Reverend Ike said many times, I can tell who's going to be broke and who's not by the things that they come out of their mouth and how they behave. It's not hard. If you talk negative against your finances and talk about how bad it is all the time, that's exactly what you're going to keep having, bad finances. If you keep talking about how sick you are, oh, my sick, this and that, my leg, da, 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 you are reinforcing and making yourself sicker than you were before. You are keeping in the idea of sickness with you. The Bible says, as a man thinks, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. As Reverend Ike says, you are what you think, and thoughts are the food of the mind. Tell your mind what to think. It is important that you learn to rule your own mind. You must take the responsibility of telling your mind what to think. Too many people have their minds ruled from the outside in instead of ruling their own minds from the inside out. Horoscopes are just another device of the world mind to tell you what to think. Starting today, take complete responsibility for telling your mind what to think. Only letting good, positive decisive thoughts. Change your sign. When people ask you what your sign you are under, for heaven's sake, don't tell them. People project all sorts of things for you according to what your sign you are under. I'm guilty of that. But oh, what's your sign? Oh, yeah. Then they project what they think what type of person you are by the sign. And remember, the calendar is off. This Gregorian calendar is not accurate. So you don't know really what sign you're under. It's all cut out for you. You don't have to think anything. Your horoscope tells you what to think, what not to think, what to do, and what not to do. If you mentally put yourself under any sign, you lose control of your own future. When people ask me what sign I was under, I say the dollar sign. That's a sign of I understand. Then I add, but I'm not under the signs. The signs are under me. So don't tell anybody your so-called sign. That's right. The signs are under you. You are the orchestrator, the master of your own destiny. Okay? Look to this day. This is the day which the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Every day is a day which the Lord has made. So every day is a good day. When you wake up each day, repeat that Bible verse. This is the day which the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So it's to be thankful. One of the biggest ways to become prosperous in all you do is to have gratitude, even for the things that are challenging. Don't look to the stars for the answers that the future holds for you. Look within yourself. Look to the presence and power of God within you. Program your mind with positive thoughts before starting the day. Your body needs fuel in the form of food before you begin each day, and your mind needs positive thoughts before it begins each day. Positive thoughts will program your mind for positive experience throughout the day. This is the day which the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it. Today is all we have. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow never comes. That is so true. Be your own fortune teller. Don't look to the stars for the answer to what the future holds for you. Look within yourself. Look to the presence and power of God within. Decide the good you want in your life and believe that through the presence of God in you, it will come about. Think carefully about all the good you want in your life. Decide exactly what good you want. Get it clearly in your mind. Acknowledge the presence and power of God within as your source. You will know what the future holds for you because you will be the one to determine it. Through the presence of God in you, you can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do, and you can have what you want to have. Amen. Now, enough with that. I'm glad I was able to share that with you, but I want to share something else with you. So, right now, you might want to write this technique down. I'll give you a second to go get a pen, paper. What you're going to do, you're going to imagine yourself. I will be right back. Hang on, this my son is on the road. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. So I'll call him back in a minute. What you're going to do is, and the example I'm going to use is, let's just say you have a poverty mindset, and that poverty mindset is keeping you stuck. And what I mean by poverty mindset, you might say, man, I just can't get it right. Money is not coming in easy for me, blah, blah. That's a poverty mindset. That's a lack mindset. So what you have to do is imagine yourself in that poverty mindset on one end of the spectrum, and then now create another version of you that doesn't have a poverty mindset, that says, hey, I'm wealthy. I'm living good. Everything's good. My finance is good. I'm managing it well. I mean, think of the most extreme thing possible of that other version you would like yourself to be. So you have two versions. You have the poverty mindset version and you have the wealthy mindset version. And then imagine those two versions going to war with each other. Now, what you'll notice is if you're poverty mindset dominated, that poverty mindset will be the first to attack the wealthy mindset version of you. That shows you where you are. But as you practice this, you have to make sure that the positive and the wealthy mindset version of you is the one that is defeating the poverty mindset all the time. It's a practice. But when you first do it, you'll notice where your consciousness is by who is the aggressor in the battle immediately. Who does the attack? Who takes that first hit mentally that you're taking, working with? You'll notice. And this works with anything. If you just want to be a version of you that's not good in your relationship. And then there's a version of you that is loving and caring and nurturing in your relationship. Put them at war. And make sure that the one that you want to win, that good part, wins all the time. Imagine it beating that poverty mindset, that non-loving perversion of you. Because when it's all said and done, the only thing that you're at odds with is you. That version of you that you're trying to put off, that old you, so that you can become the new you. And you got to make sure that that new you, the one that you're becoming, that you want to be, defeats that old you. Do this daily and see how powerful it'll be for you. And this technique they showed you in movies. Remember Star Wars, the very first one, when Luke Skywalker was learning to become a Jedi, and he went into that cave like thing, that place. The first adversary he met was himself. It was he was looking at himself, and they was going to war with each other. So first, before you can defeat anything, you have to defeat the old version of you that's holding you back. All right. And with that being said, peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your rest of your weekend. Peace.